Hi, and welcome to Geno'S Picks. I know, last week we made history. We did something we'd never done before. We went winless. We were 0-4-1 thanks to the Bills for saving a push. And that makes us 2-7-1, 22% on the year. But look, people, it's been 5 years, our first losing week. We've given you 6 or 7 undefeated weeks, and a lot of football is left, and everything balances out. So let's get right to it. But first, you know what really grinds my gears? People who ruin roasts. No, I'm not talking about the situation, what he did at the Trump roast. Ugh, there was more laughter at the roast of Anne Frank. No, talking about a guy by the name of David Kane who bitched and made them remove a joke from the roast of Charlie Sheen in which Steve-O said, the last time this many nobodies got roasted, at least Great White was playing a concert. Yeah, it is fucking funny. It's hilarious, unless you make it about you and your son. And while Dave Kane and many others lost their son in that tragic fire, and my heart goes out to them, the roast wasn't about that. The roast is about poking fun at a friend that you're on a level with that you can laugh at tragedy. And if we can't laugh in the face of death now, what can we laugh at? Especially a guy like David Kane, who alleges he's a comedian. That's what he said in the interview. So I looked it up. David Kane isn't a comedian. He does dinner theater in New England. You know why it's called dinner theater, Dave? Because the word Gallagher was already taken. A real comedian knows that while we're alive, we survive with the yin and the yang and laughing in the face of death. And that's what we did. Sorry you can't. You're alive, getting the suffering you deserve. My heart goes out to the people who lost people in that fire, but not people who are ignorant to the beauty of being alive in every moment. Speaking of being alive in every moment, 0-4 last week, but we ain't dead yet. Let's get to the picks. My first pick, people, the Patriots are giving 7.5 to the Bills in Buffalo. Why are they giving 7.5? Because Bill Belichick is awesome. He reminds, if you ever saw the movie Raging Bull, you have to love the scene where Jake's wife, Vicky LaMotta, says about a guy named Tony Gennaro, he's a good-looking guy. So what does LaMotta do at the dinner table? He goes, oh, think he's a good-looking guy? Doesn't say a word. When they get into the ring, he beats the living crap out of Gennaro till they show a scene. It's classic. He mauls him in the face, and some guy goes, he ain't pretty no more. That's what the Bills are. The Bills are the media darling of the NFL, and Bill Belichick has always been like Jake LaMotta. Doesn't say a word, lets people believe in the fantasy, then goes in and beats the crap out of teams. And that is what he is going to do with the pretender Bills. And I like the Bills, but let's be honest. They've beaten 2 teams. The Chiefs, who are proving to be terrible, and last week they beat the Raiders barely in Buffalo, a home game. And I told you last week how poorly the Raiders travel east. The only 2 things that travel east with a worser record than them are democracy and Christianity. Yeah, people, the Bills aren't as good as they look. The Patriots may be even better. Take the Patriots, lay the 7.5. My next pick, the Steelers, Sunday night are giving 10.5 to the Colts in Indy. Look, the Steelers, if you throw away week 1, they're a Super Bowl contender. If you throw away weeks 1 and 2, well, you're the Indianapolis Colts. That's what they've done, people. They signed Kerry Collins out of retirement. While he's physically out of retirement, people, mentally, Kerry Collins is still on the golf course. I was wrong. I didn't realize how much this team depended on Peyton Manning. And I'll tell you something right now. Whether Kerry Collins is on the golf course or whether he's on the football field, people say the same thing after every one of those events. They look at him and say, you know what, Kerry? It ain't the club's fault. People, Colts are a mess. Steelers are angry. Take the Steelers Sunday night. Lay the 10.5. My next pick, people. The Ravens are giving 4 to the Rams in St. Louis. Rams are coming off a short week. Maybe it's better because they don't want to remember what happened Monday night much more than anyone else does. And I love how they bitch about the Giants flopping. Hey, let me tell you something, Rams. If you go online and Google Giants flopping and then Google Rams flopping, the second one will give you 1 billion more hits because your season has been a flop. Everyone likes you to win what is the awful NFC West, and you're sitting here 0-2 whining about what the Giants did. Look, the Giants may have flopped and made themselves look bad, but I'll tell you what their flopping did not do. It did not make you, St. Louis, kick 3 field goals from inside the 10. It did not make Cadillac Williams stare at a ball so blatantly thrown behind him that 21 guys on the field and 70,000 people in the stands knew it was a lateral, but he didn't turn around. Guess that Cadillac doesn't go in reverse. And most of all, it didn't make that terribly underthrown pass by Eli Manning not even get touched by your cornerback and Hickson play hacky sack with it. Gee, Hickson should play for the Mets because the last time I saw anyone hit a ball that many times in a stadium, he wasn't playing for the Mets. Am I right? All right, look. They stink, and the Ravens are going to bounce back. And what can you say about our guy, Ray Rice? We talked about him last week, and let's talk about him again. He led in receiving and rushing last week. People, the last time I saw someone carry a load that big, Jenna Jameson was still in the porn industry. Take the Ravens. Lay the 4. My next pick, The Arizona Cardinals are giving 3.5 to the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. People, the Seahawks are terrible, okay? And the Cardinals defense is good enough to handle Tavares Jackson. I'm sorry, who isn't good enough? O.J. Simpson's defense is good enough to handle Tavares Jackson. Casey Anthony's defense. You get what I'm saying, people. Because Pete Carroll is proving to be a moron. He let Matt Hasselbeck go, who's doing well with a patchwork team, much like Seattle is, in Tennessee. He replaced him with Whitehurst and Tavares Jackson. Wow, that's the greatest career move since Gilbert Gottfried opened a Twitter account. See, we're still playing with some roast jokes. People, let me tell you, the Arizona Cardinals offense is a lot better than the Seahawks. And the Cardinals defense is pretty much better than the Seahawks. Yeah, it's a home game, but I just think the Seahawks are terrible. Take the Cardinals, lay the 3.5. My next pick. The Atlanta Falcons are getting 1.5 points from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. I know. I think the Falcons are a lot better. And this is one of those games where the line is screaming to you to take Atlanta, take the underdog. But this is also one of the games where they're like, whoa, be careful. If you jump on that line, it may burn you. It's a gambling line. Gambling lines don't burn you. The only lines that if you jump on, they burn you are the ones outside the station before Great White played a concert. Ha ha! Full circle! Full circle. Take the Falcons and the 1.5. And now my double your money Monday night pick. I got nothing. You know why? Because there's still no line. I will tweet a joke and the winner there. So for now, those are Geno's picks. Thanks for your patience.